Hi folks, it's John from lastchanceautorestore.com. I'd like to share with you just a quick little update. This is on the 1950 Ford F47 regular cab pickup truck. This is the Flathead 8 motor that we pulled from the frame. And in a previous video we shared with you where we had some questionable cylinders after we did the PSI or compression test on it. So we've got some weak cylinders. So the next step from that video is where we are now. So we removed the carburetor, the intake, the water pumps on the front, and the head off the one side. And now we can take a closer look. This is now going to be ready to go to the machine shop because we see some things. So I've got the flashlight here. If the camera person can come a little bit closer. So basically you can see the pistons. We've got some scoring on the top of the pistons. And there, see we got lots of, I don't know the glare, but we got lots of scoring and residue on the tops of the pistons. We've got a ridge line on the cylinder walls where you have these rust lines. So it's been sitting for quite a while, obviously. So we've got some blow by through the pistons. The nice thing about these Flathead 8 cylinders is there's lots and lots of meat on them. So we'll be able to do quite a bit of machining for oversized pistons and rings. Now we come closer once again, so we move the intake, and on the inside, I'm assuming if we look at the valve spring here and then see the seat, I think the camera can probably pick it up. There's some damage there where people have been banging around on those. So I'm assuming at some point in this motor's life, perhaps it was a seized engine, and you can see it over here too. We've got some damage at the base of that valve where somebody's been hammering and banging. So we're just going to have to, when we send it to the machine shop, we'll pay attention to those to make sure, because obviously we're going to have to probably replace the lifters because we've got some internal banging around in there. And then the valves, we can see there's quite a bit. It's going to be hard for the camera to pick it up, but there's a lot of rust and carbon buildup in the valves. And then here, with the water jackets, you can see there's lots of rust and lots of flaking on the inside on actually both sides. We pulled both heads off and just set this one back on. So now we're going to come closer here with the camera if we could. And we have our intake, and you can see that they've tried to seal it up, and they've got a bunch of incorrect caulking and product. So I'm assuming they did all this stuff when they were trying to repaint and clean the engine, and this isn't the proper way of doing the gasket. But when we remove the gasket, we can see there's also we've got lots of carbon buildup inside. And quite a bit of blow-by. You can see here where we've got some carbon and it's dark in there, which is typical. And then for the water pumps, we have one was replaced with a more current one, and one is an older one. And this is our older one, and I'm not sure if the camera can pick it up, but well, here, see all these flakes of rust, these chunks. So all of this, and there was basically a palm full of this rust, came out of the inside of this water pump when we went to spin it. So there's lots of rust and flaking on the inside of both the water pumps, once again assuming from sitting so long. And then the heads, whoever took the heads off previously, they never really did much work with them, so these should probably be planed. We put a straight edge on them and they look fairly close, but our machine shop will fully assess it to see if these need to be planed a little bit. So there's lots you can do with these engines, and it is a numbers matching engine. So this Flathead 8 came with this 1950 Ford F47 pickup. So I just wanted to share with you, it's just ready to go to the machine shop now. We'll just set the items back on, and then we'll get an estimate from them in terms of how much work it's going to require. So I thank you for watching. I'm John from lastchanceautorestore.com.